Don't worry, the syllabus is coming and it'll be up shortly. But the first week, we're looking at the introduction to prejudice, bias, and racism. And we're going to talk about the definitions of prejudice, bias, stereotyping, discrimination, and racism, implicit and explicit bias, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to get into the week 2 of historical foundations of racism and criminality, in which case we'll be discussing the first 2 chapters of the New Jim Crow and a case study of the Central Park Five. As we look into week 3, the stereotypes and media representation, we're going to be looking at the role of media in reinforcing racial stereotypes, the impact of representation on public perception, and then we'll be getting into bias, uncovering the hidden prejudice that shapes what we see, think, and do. After that, we'll be looking at week 4, implicit bias in the criminal justice system, and we'll get into the first 3 chapters of Just Mercy. And we'll be looking at a case study of the policing bias in Ferguson. Then we'll go into week 5, the psychological and social impact of racism. And week 6, the intersectionality and minority experiences, which case we'll be talking about the LGBTQ plus minorities, women of color, immigrant communities, some unique challenges for Muslim and Asian communities in post 9/11 and COVID eras. And then week 7, we're looking at strategies for dismantling racism and bias. And then week 8 will be our capstone game course wrap up. So it's going to be quite a bit. And we'll get through the stuff, and I'll make sure I try to get to as many people and respond as much as possible. But it is going to be a very thorough class. We will be looking at some of the scholarly work that is out there, because there is plenty of information out there about different aspects of social psychology when it comes down to bias and prejudice, and the amount of Black scholars, especially Black women scholars, that have done the footwork and have laid out the groundwork for a lot of this stuff. We will be definitely looking at their work, and we'll be moving forward.